and Cedar.
The
Barbershop.
Wicker
Wicker Whacker. That's his barber? That's the barber name, the Wicker Whacker?
Yeah, the Wicker Whacker.
Yeah, that guy needs more business just for the name.
And it looks like he gives a pretty nice fade. Look at that.
So your haircut looked so good last podcast.
I wish it
told
was
you to.
him. I'm going to go to this guy in the future. It's like I was just saying, I stopped at Walmart to get my oil changed, and I just went into the old barber at Walmart.
That's amazing. That was a Walmart haircut.
Walmart, you can call him a barber. I think it's just a haircutter.
Just a haircutter.
Stylist?
Yeah.
It's like if you go to McDonald's, are they a chef or a cook? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between a haircutter and a barber.
Yeah,
for
McDonald's
sure.
is a cook.
Yeah, a cook, right? Yeah.
I need to go to wherever Porter goes whenever I'm down here. Where's he going?
He gets his haircut every week.
He has a standing 2-week appointment.
Like just a slot?
Every 2 weeks, he is slotted at noon every 2 weeks to get his haircut.
Brando, do you go to Holmes?
I used to. I'm too cheap to pay for a haircut.
That's expensive.
I bought the $29 clippers from Walmart and they just cut my own.
Yeah.
Just
do number 2 and then
there you go.
Mine's
I'm on
pretty
my way. I'm on my way, bud. I'll be there.
It's the only reason why I have long hair, because I'm too cheap to get my hair cut, so I get my hair cut once a year.
I just couldn't imagine
If I
having
had
to
hair,
stand
I
I'd
get
do the
paid for
same
more
thing.
taxidermy.
Yeah.
and know that I'm locked into a standing every 2 week hair
You cut your
appointment.
boys' hair?
That'd drive me nuts.
You have to, huh?
Yep.
That's how I do mine. 3 boys, you add that up, it's like $80
Yeah.
a month.
That's like for $29. I've had them for 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
This is the best $29 I spent. The wall clippers.
At
and you
this
just-
point, you're 5 cents a haircut. If you really break
Oh,
it
there,
down, probably
I'm
less,
making
maybe.
money on the deal
Yeah.
now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
You want to give us an intro, B-Mills?
I guess we are.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy today,
Yeah.
You're the guy.
but I feel bad though. I don't know what. Well, all right. Let's get into it. We'll say that one. I'll say that one for later.
What are you doing? You want me to hit promo first?
Yeah.
Hit the promo first. We've been doing it last for a
the
while.
promo trail.
All right. So we got a promo. It's podcast. So if you use the promo code podcast when you sign up for a GoHunt Insider Research account, we're going to give you 50 points back into the GoHunt Gear Shop. That's $50 that you can use towards the purchase of any gear that we have in the GoHunt Gear Shop. Now's a great time to do some research and also buy some gear. We're right in the thick of app season. We got New Mexico deadline tomorrow. It's today the 21st.
Yeah,
Today's
Tomorrow.
21st. Tomorrow.
Yeah, New Mexico
deadline.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So by the time this comes out, hopefully you got your New Mexico app in.
Yeah, hopefully that got in. But then you've got Colorado right on its heels, April 4th. You got Utah coming up April
Don't forget
27th.
about Montana, April 1st.
I always forget about Montana.
Nevada just opened, didn't it? Nevada just opened.
Yeah, just opened.
Yeah.
Nevada's is open.
Got the email yesterday.
Yeah.
I always forget about Montana.
Yeah.
It's too far up there anyway.
It is just too far.
But yeah, speaking of research guys, though, we got 2 of them right in front of us.
The 2 main guys.
We got Brandon and Nate here, and we're going to
You want some of
discuss.
this Apex? Put some of this Apex in that water so you can get charged up here. Come on. We need some charge up from
You need
it.
to flavor your Copenhagen.
What is that? Yeah. Is that the
That'll just charge you.
tiger's blood?
Just drink it. It'll
Yeah.
charge you up.
I heard about this stuff.
We'll get you
Yes,
guys
sir.
going.
Do you buy flavored Copenhagen?
I don't. I used to back in the day, back when we were young, and it was the cheapest, that you could afford then, and you tried everything. all
Now
the
it's
different
just standard
flavors.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, I mean it all tastes the
But
same.
you do snuff though. Snuff's different than the long cut.
Yes,
What's the difference?
It's way
way
finer.
finer.
I can't deal with it 'cause it's hard to use. I just get it everywhere.
If you don't get the pinch, then you're screwed, and it just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
But it just
So you got to get the long cut.
So there's
Long
there's
cut
some
OG.
talent with it.
Is where it's at.
it's an acquired feel,
Yeah.
and it's pressure and squeeze. It takes a while to
Yeah.
takes
Are
a
you,
while to lock that down.
are you an expert packer? You pack that?
I guess so.
A nice flick?
Yeah,
I
but
always like that.
How long have you been chewing for?
since I was in high school, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, and we were just
I did not know that about you.
yeah, and surprisingly, funny thing about it too is my old man's a dentist. And,
How does he feel?
No shit. How's that work?
well,
How's that work at the family dinner table?
I tell you what, ever since I can remember growing up, the old man, he'd have dinner, then he'd go into his office and work his book. He owned his own practice, so he took care of everything. And he had to chew every night after dinner.
Did he really?
Yeah.
As a dentist.
Yeah,
One a day?
See?
yeah.
I
Still
have-
does to this day.
Just
I have-
one, huh?
I
Only
have
one a day though. He has that much control. Just
Yeah.
one a day.
That's
Always
what you
has.
are, right? It's one a day.
Yeah. The first time I got caught, that's what I told him. I just do it once a day like you, Dad. I told you not to start. That's what I was fixing to say. He goes,
Yeah.
you need to quit this shit. And I said, Dad, you told me never to quit anything in my life. And I swear to God, I thought he
Weaponized that
He
parenting,
realized
huh?
it. He
Yeah.
wanted to laugh. Then he got pissed and he wanted to punch me and he just turned around and walked away. And that was the end of it. So, yeah, I got away clean there.
Good
But-
for you.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Wyoming?
I didn't. No.
Where'd you grow up?
About 3 hours west of here, high desert of California.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We can't talk about that state.
You're from
Yeah.
California?
Well, I mean, yeah, public now.
Yeah, so we can't talk.
But
Public now. You're one of the Californians that moved to Wyoming.
Man,
No,
you blend
no,
in,
no.
You
I
blend in
moved-
well.
yeah, thanks. Well, when you go hunting out of state, we get this all the time. For years, that's all we did was hunt our hometown units and then go out of state. And every time we go out of state, you'd run into somebody and you'd get to talking to them or whatever, and they'd always tell you, and go, man, we'd have never guessed you were from California. And we always go, well, thank you. You know,
That's
there's-
probably the best compliment you could
Yeah.
have ever had, right?
So there is nice people in California.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
There's quite a few of them, but
Well,
just,
is there any
legit.
left? Is what we should say.
Yeah,
because
left.
you're out
Eh,
now.
yeah, I don't know.
I
That
saw-
state's so
I
screwed.
saw a report today, actually yesterday, last night. U-Haul is out of trucks in California because
California.
so many people moved out of California. Now they're just in other states, so they're out of U-Haul trucks in
I thought
California.
you were going to say because people are living in them.
or maybe
Well,
that's-
that could be.
like they,
Cheaper to rent
they,
one.
they would go get a U-Haul, pack their house up, and leave, and so they have no U-Hauls coming in. There's none coming in, and they're all going out.
Wow.
So they have no U-Haul trucks. In
No,
California.
it's just like the rest of them. California, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
The coastal line screws the rest of the state.
yeah.
So everything on the east side, East California, East Oregon, East Washington, is total different demographic. But same state, you get the bad rap.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's where I originally grew up, and
Gotcha.
yeah, I've been hunting there my whole life and everywhere else I can.
I cut you off before you were actually going to introductions to start talking
That's all
about
right, Terrell.
Copenhagen.
I know you.
That's Matt.
You always like to have the same ideas I do
My,
sometimes. and just take words.
my brain skipped. So let's go back and do introductions.
Yes. So as we discussed, we got Nate, who's no longer from California,
From
No
what?
longer there.
no longer there, and we got Brandon. And
Brandon
today's
Evans was hired right after you, correct? Mm-hmm. So you're one of our longest standing guys.
Yeah, no, well, when you get hired in, what,
February of
so I
2014.
was probably writing profiles
Right then.
before then. Because it was.
You were
Jan-
writing profiles before
Yeah.
then, yeah. And then you came on shortly after, full time after Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're one of our Brady and Brando, man. These are our guys,
Oh, geez.
We're the OGs.
the OGs.
So we're talking about you guys' hunt film that is dropping very soon.
Soon.
I got a lot of
What's
questions
the official
for you,
date on
Nate.
when that's dropping?
I think Sunday.
Sunday,
but Sunday at 9 a.m. I heard. So not this coming Sunday, but the
following Sunday.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions for Nate because I've hunted with Brando in the backcountry a couple times, quite a few times.
Probably
So
should mark that
I got
down.
some questions. For you.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, Sunday the 2nd.
Yep. 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
And do you guys know what the official title of the film is yet?
Nope.
I don't
haven't
either.
heard.
I don't either.
Diversion is what I've been told.
Diversion.
Yeah.
We should probably get the. Hey, can you Slack somebody and get the title,
I got
Cody?
it.
I think I know where that came
Diversion.
I think it is diversion.
I got it. Let me pull it up. But go ahead.
I want to hear every little detail about that hunt. Just avoid the state though.
Oh, what?
Can't avoid the state.
Can't avoid the state.
You guys know me. I'm just looking out.
Diversion is the title.
I'm just already anticipating comments.
That makes
Avoid the state.
the title makes sense. I originally wanted to hunt this place. You
Idaho? Is that the
yeah,
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
Idaho.
No, I thought you guys were hunting California.
we could have been. No, so you guys know. You've heard stories from old timers from years ago, right?
Yeah.
And probably 7 or 8 years ago, I talked to a guy that told me about this place, and it just stuck in the back of my head. But the problem with Idaho is your general season dates are the same time, 10th through the 24th, and that overlaps with a shit ton of other things. So I've just never hunted it. But I've always had it in the back of my head, and it's always something I wanted to do based off of that old timer. And it was just one of those things where if I didn't just say screw it and go, I'd still think about it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the tag in December, where last year or 2 years ago it wasn't near as bad as this last
But it was
one.
still pretty bad though when you
It
guys got
was.
your tag. What number you guys remember? With the
I
random?
was low.
Go back and give us a quick synopsis on the process for Idaho OTC.
Oh, great. So they came out in a couple of years back now, and what they do is what is it, December 1st or 5th? One of the two. And they come out and pretty much you get into a waiting room. If you log in, they say log in half hour beforehand, you get put into a waiting room, and then at 9 a.m.
I like to call that purgatory.
Yeah.
For the book followers, it's purgatory.
And then finally at the start, 9 a.m., and everybody that's in line or signed in or logged in gets a random number, right? So you could, and if you miss at 9 a.m. and you're 10 minutes late, you could go from number 5,000 or 10,000 to 20 or 30,000. So, and you wait in line, and that's literally what it is. And they run through all the tags. They have all the general elk tags, all the general deer tags, and they let number one in. He gets his tag, number two, and so on and so forth. So this year there was a whole mess of problems with, system glitches and everything beyond the sun. So this year was an absolute mess. But I actually had a pretty decent low number.
Like, what are we talking about low? Because low to me is like 9,000. That's what I always get, some 9,000 to 13,000.
I want to say
you were low, like 3,000.
I was 3,200 or something like that.
What number did you get?
I had like 11,000
Were you
that year.
That year? Were you guys concerned that you wouldn't be able to get the same tag?
We really didn't plan that at all.
You didn't plan that?
No.
It wasn't like you guys were talking?
No.
So you guys didn't already think you're going to hunt together?
Well, I wasn't working here.
Yeah, no, when that happened, we hadn't hired Nate. Like we were interviewing.
We interviewed just before that happened,
Yeah.
and then we finally didn't finalize everything until
Was that one
after
of the questions?
Yeah.
Do you have any good spots to hunt in Idaho? Is that part of
Was that was that part of the interview? So tell me about your spots in Idaho.
Depending on how good your spot is.
Yeah.
It's a funny story about the interview is his mom had a 231 deer tag so that October. That's when Porter had the 231 that I was out there.
And we ran it, yeah.
Yeah,
They
so
all
we
ran
were
into each
talking
other
in
out there.
231 before all of that, and then so he jumped on. I think we texted the day, and because he shot me a text, he said, "Did you get an Idaho tag?" And I think I was like, "Yeah, I did."
And that's when we first found out.
And then he's like,
So you randomly got the same unit?
"Yeah."
Yeah.
So you guys must have some good research in your head to think of the same unit without talking and picked up the same tag.
Was it?
Like you guys cut from the same cloth in a way.
Yeah, kind
To
of.
both lead to that same unit.
Yeah.
Was it your first choice, both of you? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like that was the
That was the
unit
unit you wanted?
that you wanted to get?
Well,
Mine
that's
was.
I know because you said that old timer stuck that place in your head.
Yeah,
You,
that
Brando, though, was that in your head? Was that your first choice?
I had a group. It was up on the list. It wasn't my first.
But you were pumped to have it.
Oh yeah, no, I was excited. It's kind of the same thing. Like intrigued. Like it's somewhere that I'd never gotten to. Kind of like what Nate said. Is Idaho's never been a tag that's like mine. It always used to be the tag that you put in your back pocket. So if nothing else worked out, you have it in your back pocket. You go hunt mule deer somewhere, and so that's what that tag. I was excited about it, but it wasn't like the hunt of the year, if you will, at that point in time, because you're talking December of the year before. So, but no, we ended up. It was interesting when we started talking spots. We were within like
Right there with each other.
a couple drainages of each other.
Yeah.
So
Great minds, great minds think alike. And when you start knowing what you're doing, e-scouting, you know what I mean? You kind of round into the same areas.
Well, that's like people asked us a couple times, we've never hunted together.
Yeah.
And we all know that can go one way or the other. And it was ever since we found out and we started, we were bouncing ideas off each other. He was telling me kind of what he was thinking and I was telling him what I was thinking. And we just kind of came to the same conclusion. But it was, even during that process, I felt comfortable as hell.
Yeah.
As far as, okay, we're fixing to go in for 8 to 10 days, know, and kind of on the same wavelength to where there was no doubt with any of us that this would just be smooth and easy. And it was.
Yeah, I got some questions for you as we get deeper into this.
Good.
I've hunted with Brando in the backcountry, 3 times now? Mm-hmm. Colorado, twice.
we did Idaho.
Idaho, once. Is that it? Colorado twice, Idaho once? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've done quite a bit. So I got some questions for you. We'll see if your experience was the same.
I want to know what made you guys decide to take llamas. Or when that come,
Yeah,
come
actually,
into,
that is a good question.
come into play, because I mean I was watching it. I could tell you guys were in deep, and like you kept saying, like at one point I think Brandon, you said like partway through the film you were 14 some miles in there. So like
Yeah.
that must have came into your thought.
That's the only not smooth part. Is so Nate, living in Wyoming, is close enough that he could scout it a couple times during the summer. And I kept asking him, because I know what Idaho looks like. Like, it's big, big, deep country. And I kept asking, like, well, what's it like? And he's like, well, we'll go. First day, we'll get halfway in. We'll set up. And he's like,
Yes.
But once you get up there, it's flat across the top. And I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
I can do
That's
this.
always the case, right?
Yeah,
And
to a degree. I mean,
Yeah.
And I was,
You
you're
average it
looking
out.
at maps, and you're, and I was like, man, that looks long. Like that's like when you're talking 2 days in, I was like, so that, yeah. Come to find out, it was not flat. It was like it was and he was like, oh, it's 4 or 5 miles. First day, 4 or 5 miles. Second day, 4 miles. I was like, oh, 8 miles? No, it wasn't. Like when we're starting to run tracks, and the first day is like 6 1/4, and the next day is 6 1/2. You're like,
I guesstimated a
those are
little bit.
full.
I guess
Those are full days. So
yeah.
that sounds like Trail and Brady distance right there. Oh, it's like 3 miles.
yeah, not
what you
for
always have to
A day
say
and a
to your
half
partner.
later.
Before the llamas, though, I wanted to get into a certain area, and there's 2 ways to get there. And I got my ass kicked just going in by myself, trying to find the ways in there.
Oh, the first time you went in, yeah.
First time I went
Scouting?
in,
Yeah.
yeah.
How
Yeah.
much summer scouting did you do? Because I was curious. There's a couple times in the film where you say we're looking for a buck. Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking
Okay,
for that
yeah,
buck.
yeah, okay. I went in
what, 3?
3 times. The first 2 times I got my ass whipped and had to turn around. Didn't even get there. And that's what I already had llamas reserved in case. Thank God. Luckily, that was my deciding factor that, okay, yeah, we need them. And the first one got me was river crossings, deep river crossings. And it was to the point where you had to take everything below off. But I've also heard stories about llamas crossing that deep of stuff, and it's not their favorite thing. And that was already at the 6 mile mark. So I came out and I said, there's got to be another way. So I looked for another way, went in the second time, ran into a grizzly bear
Nice.
who was sitting on my water hole that I needed, and I was the closest water hole for 2 miles. So that made me turn around.
What do you mean
Just
run,
hit the
in,
gym a
run
little
into?
bit.
What do you
That'd be
mean
no
run
big
into?
deal.
Like you
Just hit the gym a
you
little.
glassed him up on a water hole, or you run right into him?
No, this is great. So it was at evening time. I'm going in to where I wanted to set camp, and the water hole is in front of me, and I'm on the trail going in. It's evening time. Thunderstorms are rolling in. I mean, it's just crunching on top. You guys have been at that high
July,
elevation.
August.
July.
Got you.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm losing light. It's about 15 minutes. Sun's down. And so you got about that last 15 minutes before it goes dark. And it's crunching on top of me. And I look out in front of me on the trail, and I knew immediately it was a bear. And of course, when I scout, I got my pup with me. And she was out in front
What
of
kind
me.
of pup?
It's a healer, guaranteed.
German short hair.
Dang it.
Pointer.
All right, go ahead.
She's out in front of me, and I've got my pistol on me, and I threw my binocs, and there is no shitting doubt, cub or not, what a fucking grizzly is compared to a black bear.
Yeah.
And it was one of those black bears. I don't give a shit. I grew up with them, and they're coyotes to me. First encounter with a grizzly got me nervous, and this one was a cub, and that was what spooked me worst.
So mama's somewhere. You're
She's
thinking.
somewhere, and that was the
like
problem.
like a full-on cub, or kicked off mama year-old,
Yeah,
year-and-a-half
yearling
old?
cub or like
No.
straight up on mom.
This
cub?
was this spring's cub. It was
Oh,
tiny.
a little guy.
Yeah.
A slipper.
Yeah. So
That's what we call it. Yeah.
slipper.
slippers.
Yeah, it's those Canadians. They call them slippers.
That
like
sounds
those-
like way too nice of a name for
Like
a
when you-
grizzly cub.
like when you hunt in Canada and you're sitting on a bait in a stand, and you got a sow with cubs come in. Those little cubs, like that year's cubs, they're about this. They're big. They look like you could slip your foot right inside them, so they call them slippers. They're just like little slippers, little
Oh,
fuzzy
gotcha.
slippers. Yes, they call them slippers.
So this one, yeah, he was a little slipper, I guess. But what made me worse what made it worse was mom, right? Where's
Yeah,
mom?
where's mom?
And because a grizzly bear encounter is fine. A cub and not know where mom's at, different story. So First thing I immediately did was luckily I had my dog collar and I just hammered on her to get her back without making any noise.
Was she blowing up at all? She wasn't barking?
She didn't have a clue.
Really?
This thing was 200 yards out in front.
You
And
need a healer, sounds like.
yeah. Apparently she was in bird dog mode and was just looking for whatever, right? Anyhow, I got her back, and this cub slips down on the trail and starts walking on the trail, goes into the aspens right in front. I'm like, son of a bitch, right? That's where I need to go.
Yeah.
And the only other water is a mile and a half back. So I finally said, you know what? Screw it. Leave it. And I just turned around and went back. So that's when we decided to get the llamas.
How'd you sleep that night?
I slept great.
Did you?
I got all the way off the mountain when
Oh,
I
you
say I
did?
went
You went
back.
all, you went all,
Yeah, all the way back.
Oh, man. I thought
Went all the way-
you tent camped it and just sat there
Hell
all night
no.
with your eyes as big as saucers.
So it was right before season. I got llamas. We used Bo. I called up Bo and I said, hey, I need to come over for the llama clinic. And I
Bo
said,
Beatty, Wilderness Ridge
Yes.
llamas, right? Yeah.
Yes. Dude is a rock star.
He is.
And
I agree.
I called him up and said, hey, I need to do your training. And I said, you wouldn't happen to have a llama or two just hanging out for this weekend I could take to go stash some shit? And he goes, yeah, I do. And I went, didn't expect that, but cool. So I went over, did that, grabbed some llamas, went back. Driving in on the trailhead or on the trail, another grizzly goes bounding across the open plains out there. Big old bastard. Dove
Not a
into
cut,
the
not a
creek.
slipper.
Yeah,
Not a
no,
slipper.
full-grown mama bear that he didn't happen to tell this hunting partner until
Yeah.
we're unloading llamas at the trailhead, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this
By
is,
the way.
this is the flat that I saw that other big grizzly in," and I was like, "I heard about the first grizzly, but
Is this known grizzly bear occupied habitat, or were you surprised to see grizzlies?
I was a little surprised. I mean, yeah, they're there, but not in.
Not in concentration?
No.
Sure seems like concentration when you go 2 for 2. Or what were you, 2 for 3? 3 trips, 2
2 for 3?
grizz? Yeah.
yeah.
So
Seems a little concentrated for me.
that was when I went in with the llamas, and I went all the way into where we stashed. So we were, I guess, what was it, 5 and 5.5?
Yeah, almost 13 to
11,
that camp. So
almost
it'd
13
be
miles.
so camp 2 is
Yeah.
where he made it in.
Made it in, stashed a bunch of water. And
You had water issues where you were?
I was afraid we would by the time we
Would
went in
hunt,
for the hunt.
yeah.
There was just enough to get us there at camp that second time.
Yeah.
There was right down below us was a nice little drain off pond. And on good years it's there and bad years it's not. And it actually was there when we went
It
in.
was, yeah.
What were you storing your water in?
Those collapsible MSR are,
Drama bags?
yeah.
Drama light,
Drumlight?
drama dairy, I don't know what they call them.
Yeah.
But I had 10 gallons stashed in there in the trees. So that was number 3. And then right before season, I went in to the halfway point on foot because at this time, I still hadn't seen anything really worth going in there after. And that was when
Were you seeing deer? Just nothing great?
deer, very few,
Yeah.
very few animals, period. Like to a spooky degree where I'm going, Jesus Christ, we're fixing to do this. And
He didn't have because he's doing it on weekends though. A lot like weather was an issue. We had wet weather, stormy weather this whole fall, and so like every trip in,
And
like I
wind.
remember getting text and it was like him in a tent, and just flat blizzard in August.
That last weekend,
And
it
so-
dumped snow on me the night I got in. And it was that morning I went out, right after that fresh first snow. Everything was out dancing.
Really?
And
Oh, I love that.
That's where I found we were so far away at the halfway point, you could see a shit ton from there. But really pinpointing what it was difficult. But it was enough to see 2 frames.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, okay, I'm good with that. Now we
Yeah.
can go in.
Is that the deer you kept referring to in the film?
It
Like we need
was.
to find that one deer.
It was.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, that guy.
It was.
So you don't know what he was, you just know he's
I don't know what he was. He was, from what I could pick apart and tell, you knew he was a 4-point. There was another 3-point in there that was, he could have been better than that. I don't know. But from what I had figured, there was a 4 and a 3 in there that were pretty damn good. So that was the driving factor. What we needed to. All right, let's go do that. And we figured they wouldn't move anywhere.
Yeah, that time of year, that October.
That time of year and just where they were, I mean, you've got to have stock to get in there of some sort. We did run into one crazy bastard on there
On foot?
Yeah, but he didn't do anything once he got.
No.
In fact, I stayed back just to see when we figured
He
out we
bonked
weren't.
out by the time he got back. He had to turn around and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so he ended up not.
And I know
not
where he
affecting
came
us.
from, and God, that poor bastard.
So what's it like hunting with llamas, Brandon? You've done a fair amount of it now at this point, I would say,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's we couldn't have done it without him. And this last trip was
When you say you couldn't have done it without him, what do you mean?
we couldn't have packed enough like
Food, water.
shelter, everything.
Shelter.
So we
Kinda
ended up
everything, yeah. I
We
mean,
actually ended up taking one of Bo's tents and stove in there. So like a big canvas type tent. So one llama was dedicated to that because we were forecasted snow. Like we were fully expecting 6-8 inches of snow when we got back in there, and we're actually excited about that.
Didn't get it.
Yeah,
It snowed the last day so it'd been the 24th of October. Is that right? Last day up
Yeah,
there?
but we were out.
You guys were out.
We were
but I
out on
know
the 14th or 15th.
Yeah.
I would have been east of you guys, and I know that whole week, it's just like you're saying, it was super windy, not real great, a little rainy, not too bad, and then it snowed that last day, the very last day.
Yeah, so we were actually hoping for weather because you get that early, and that's what Nate was alluding to at the beginning. Like that early October deer is just not a great deer hunt. Like timbered up, windy,
Unless you get some snow, that can shake
which
some shit
is
up in
what we were
October,
hoping
yeah.
for. And then we didn't even get rain, nothing. And so
We had wind, and that was it.
super windy for like 3 days and a full moon that just beat us.
Yeah, that's
So,
rough in October.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Isn't wind the worst? Wind is the
hate
worst.
it.
It's the worst weather.
Because you can only
Totally.
sit up there for so long.
Well, and the
before
animals hate it.
It eventually gets to you.
I hate the wind until I actually have the animal I want, and the wind is howling, and it's right in your face the whole way going after,
Yes,
keeping you
that's true.
quiet. Then I'm like, shit, I love this. This is
Well,
great.
we had big guns on this hunt. We had big guns, so we actually found a lot of game. Like we had a black
Found a
bear.
lot of animals.
I was about shot a black bear on day 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was windy, I didn't dare take the shot because
Yeah.
it was whipping probably 25 miles an hour, and it was a little over $1,000. So I was like,
Yeah, maybe not.
not gonna sail that one. But
I was waiting the next morning because you said the next morning if he shows himself, he was going to try him. But it was windy again. I was listening all morning up there, but no, I didn't hear you pop off at him.
no, hunting with llamas is great. Like I say, I like food. So we were able to take enough food. I was sharing food.
Yeah.
I shared some food with you.
You did.
We bartered on fruit snacks.
But the old barter, the mountaintop
He
barter. I
had
love
the
it.
shitty fruit snacks, and I had the good ones. So
What's the good and what's bad?
Mott's.
Motts are terrible.
he had motts, and
I
they
actually chipped
they
a
cracked
tooth,
his tooth. Yeah.
with a Mott's fruit snack up there.
Did you really?
Yeah, they were cold enough, and they're like so hard and chewy that I was
Holy
like,
shit. What are the good ones? Well, what'd
I
you
had the
have?
Smileys.
Yeah, the
Fruit
Walmart
snacks.
Smileys.
Yeah.
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 Never heard of any of these.
That was
I mean,
I mean, I
mean,
was
sugar, so I don't
trading
know.
2 to 1. Like I was even
He was-
throwing like Skittles and stuff at him. So
No, it was just the llamas made it. You've all been there, right? So if you're going in that deep and you're going in for that long, the more comfortable you are, the
harder you
easier
can hunt, yeah.
That's right. So we figured, screw it, let's do it, let's be comfortable, and then the options are
Yeah,
through the
there's
roof,
no door.
right? So that was the driving factor, and they really did. They made it absolutely phenomenal.
What's
and
the-
those,
So there's one part I think that I really want to know that I think we've skipped over right now.
oh,
What are these llamas' names? Because llamas, every time I've gone with Bo's llamas, they always have badass names.
so we had Deke, we had Deacon, we had Doc Holliday, Outlaw, a Star Wars name.
Obi-Wan.
Han Solo.
Han Solo. Well,
Yes.
one of them we had a mix. Was Han? We had
No, it
Han
was
White.
Doc. It was Doc. So there's a white Doc and a brown Doc.
Yeah, and those saddles got mixed up. That was the
Oh,
only
that's
issue
what you guys
that we
talking about, that
had.
saddle thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
All of they're all fitted for each
Yeah.
llama, right? And we're getting ready to leave and getting our saddles and stuff. Bo wasn't there. It was one of his guys that was helping us. And yeah, we had brown Doc saddle on white Doc.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that gave us a fit.
So how many did you have? 6?
Four.
He told you the names are always great.
Yeah.
Names are
See, and
good.
I'd actually I had Deacon in Wyoming with
Oh, you
Porter.
did?
Yeah, and so I knew, like, I think I took Deacon because he was a rock star. Like, he was a rock star in Wyoming. He had 2 more years, 2 more years on him, and he was All of them were great.
They were
We found
all-
out they don't mind deep water. Like they actually.
Really?
Oh,
I
we
was
found that
gonna-
out.
Yeah,
I was
we
going to
did.
ask about that because you said that river crossing was pretty gnarly. And
Different one.
Yeah.
a different one?
Yeah, we didn't go in that same way. The ones that I had crossed the first time were deeper and wider.
So you found another way to get in there.
Right.
It's still a pretty bad river cross, though?
That was actually on the way out, and we didn't plan on going that way.
No.
It wasn't, well, they got progressively worse the farther along we went.
Yeah.
And they started out real nice, boots dry and everything. And then by the time, 20 to 30 river crossings later, they were past your knees.
You're no shit crossing that many times?
Oh, it was
Oh,
horrible.
yeah.
Wow.
We thought we had planned, so like looking at maps as best you could. I was, what did they say, like 13 or 14 river
13 or
crossings?
14, yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's doable. Like, meh.
Yeah.
Shit, no. There was a section of that creek where the trail runs down the river or runs down the creek for about 60 yards.
And the trail's not maintained. It's on the map, but the only people that had been in it were horsemen, and they were just cutting it for horses. So they would cut it out at stirrup height. So as you're walking through, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. About halfway out, it turned into a
decent trail.
decent, it was yeah. And it was smooth sailing. By that time, it was just fucking heads down and go.
Go, yeah.
How much can you pack on a llama? Like,
So going in, you want to stay about 70, 75
per llama.
per llama.
It's pretty good.
And you want to keep it at that going in, and whenever you're moving throughout the hunt, save the heavy shit for coming out. So when we came out, those suckers were 90, 92, 95 coming out. We had them stacked heavy coming out. And that's what Bo told us to do. He said, just, keep them light the whole time, and then when you have one last push to go, load them up. So,
Yeah, on the way in, the only thing we were packing was water and guns.
yeah.
So,
They were packing everything else.
yep,
Shelter, food, the
Yep.
whole nine.
everything.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
What I've never hunted with llamas, but like, what's the temperament of a llama? And are you also packing feed for the llama, or is there just like enough vegetation out there that
He'll-
they can live off of it?
They can live off a lot of vegetation, and that's primarily what they do. He'll give you some cookies to go with to give them each night. I think it's £1 per llama of cookies.
That's it?
Yeah.
A day?
Yeah.
So when we were planning like 7 days, we had over 20 pounds of feed.
20 pounds
On
of
one of
cookies
them.
for them.
They're just pucks?
They're like pellets.
Yeah.
Like a little bit bigger pellet. So you give them a scoop a night and makes them happy. And temperament wise, they're
Chill.
like a dog, to be honest. Like,
That's what I said.
have
They're just like a dog.
personalities. They're
I hunted
spit at you?
with Bo.
Never.
I've never had them spit. We had one that had kind of sing to us on the way out. Like,
I had them on the first trip I went in to stash water. What's funny is Bo says they won't spit at you, they'll spit at each other. Yeah, when they do, he said there's 2 types of spit. One is they'll spit and they'll just say, get away. But there's another one where they really take some good shit from down below, and spit it out. And what it does is it makes their bottom jaw numb. So you can tell when they've done it because,
They get slack jawed?
oh, dude, I mean, jaws drop, tongues out and everything. They just look stupid. They try to
Stupider
eat,
than
they
a
can't
llama
really
looks
eat.
anyway?
Yeah. So I had them do that on the one trip. But other than that, they're just chill.
I hunted with Bo in Wyoming. So it was nice. My first llama experience was with the llama man himself.
Yeah.
And we had a shitload of llamas. I can't remember how many we had, 10 or 12. And the head of my llama chain was Top Gun. And he would sing all the time. He was just like a dog. Like when we'd post up, because I would bring him with me every day. Like we'd hike up to the glassing point and I would just have him. And he would, just in case we killed, pack out whatever it was. That's how Bo likes to do it. And Bo was sick at the time, so we always had llamas on us just in case. And every time we'd get somewhere, we'd set up to glass, and he'd put his long neck over my shoulder and just start like moaning, and I would just like rub his head. It was just like a dog. His name was Top Gun. He was awesome.
You
And
don't
he
have to
would sing
hobble them or
all day
anything?
long.
They just stay tight?
You stake them out at night.
Stake him out, yeah.
They got a 12-foot lead rope on a stake, and they'll sit there for a day or two, depending on your feed, and feed on that around them. And you can see it's like a lawnmower. By the time they're out
Yeah.
of feed, it's pretty
You can
clear.
tell when you need to move them.
Yeah. But they're attentive as hell, too. Like, they know what's around you.
Did they ever spot animals for you?
Oh,
That
yeah.
happened
We
with
didn't
us
even
all
see
the time.
it going in. we're 20 minutes from the truck. Him and I are just packing in, and all the llamas, did the whole, what the fuck is that look, And I look back at the llamas and I'm like, that's weird. And we just kept on going. Camera dude comes running up and he goes, you guys see that big old bull moose about 20 foot off the trail? And neither one of us were like, oh, no, didn't see it.
Yeah, the llamas would spot shit for us all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It was crazy.
Did you guys do anything at night for like electric fence, anything like that? No?
No.
Even though you saw that much grizz, you never set anything up?
Man, where I saw them, as far as the bears go, they were 6 miles.
Yeah, like we were far enough away.
Once I got past a certain point, I never saw any sign of them in there. So it just wasn't a real worry. And they'll let you know too if something's coming. They have that alarm sound they do. And I talking to Bo, he didn't recommend it. He goes, nah. So
Yeah.
I went, okay, good enough for me.
No other precautions? You didn't hang your food at night, anything like that? You're cooking in your tent?
No.
Just hardcore like that, aren't you?
No, I was just, I felt comfortable with the llamas out there because you got them staked out probably 50 yards or so.
And completely around
tent.
your, like when you have 4, you've got enough that you've got them.
If a bear's
around the
coming,
tent,
we're going to
so-
know.
Yeah.
And so I felt safe. I didn't feel the
Yeah,
need
neither
to
one
hang
of us were worried
shit.
about it.
So I was, I don't know. Now, if I was by myself, different story. Yeah, we're going to hang shit over there. Yeah.
So you're seeing, so let me go, where are we at in the story? Sorry, I keep asking questions.
We went off on a tangent of the llamas.
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
to get into the actual hunt itself.
Yeah.
Like how was the hunt? You guys said you turned up quite a few animals. That's what you said, Brando.
Yeah, all kinds of animals. So it starts. So I came up from southern Utah. Nate is living in Wyoming. He ran over, grabbed the llamas that day. We both met at a hotel. Met the cameraman there.
Who'd you have, cameraman?
We had Kayam, and
He's a stud. I
yeah,
like
he
him
was
a lot.
amazing.
Fantastic.
So
The guy's awesome.
fit right in. He was a
I
fun
had
one to
him
hunt
on
with.
Clay's sheep hunt with us. He's a stud. He's awesome.
So met there, divvied out, and that's one thing that helped us out. I'd learned from the first llama experiences. We actually weighed everything out at the hotel that night. We had all the panniers built, everything divided up, paired up. So and we just set them in the back of Nate's truck. So when we got the trailhead, it was literally just pull the llamas out, brush them out, saddle them, load them. We weren't divvying that morning because we knew it was a pack in, and so that morning we drove the trailhead. It was about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
To the trailhead. Got there, got in, set camp at that first spot.
How far in? 4.5? You said 4.25?
It ended up being like 5 and something.
5
Yeah.
and something.
Yeah.
It was just the way the land set. It was a phenomenal spot. You're a long ways away, but you can see it all. And
You could see your destination
Yeah,
from
and
that
we're,
spot.
yeah, and we're 2 days.
It's kind of how we were in Idaho.
Yeah, we're
That, like
2
midway
days-
level. You could see clear to the
Yep,
top.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so at this, we're 2 days before the opener, right?
yes,
And so from there, we split up. We basically split up to just cover country with glass.
Mm-hmm.
I went out on a ridge. He went up on a big knob. And just basically we can just cover miles of ridges. And so where we knew we were going to end up being able to hunt. And so that evening, it was super windy again that night. And the sun, because of the way we were glassing into the sun, turned up some deer, but nothing that we could tell what it was.
Yeah.
That next morning, got up, did the same thing, and turned up even more deer, found bucks. Didn't ever really turn up the big shooter buck that we were after, but found a bunch of bucks in the same country. Found a bunch of elk, found...
When you're talking a bunch of bucks, what are you thinking? Dozen?
well, there was. I think there was 8 or 9 in that one little cut. But where I'd originally seen this thing, it wasn't that big of a basin. And so it just seemed, 8 or 9 stuck in where he was.
Yeah.
You've got 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5 basins that you're looking at, and then just beep right there, they were all just stuffed in it. So yeah, it seemed like a bunch just to be in that one little spot. And they were, I don't know if it was the original group, because when I originally saw him, he was with a big group. Little bucks, bunch of little bucks. And we think those are the ones that were still there. But yeah, it was good to see that they hadn't been moved out of there, which was nice.
Yeah, no kidding.
Some other deer in some other of those basins, some does.
We actually kicked up some deer on the ridges we were on that morning.
Yeah, I did.
So we were seeing for October, 20,
Yeah.
25 deer,
It's good.
half of them bucks.
You're
Keeps you
seeing
going at
You're
least.
seeing elk too, right? Mm-hmm. The better species.
No.
We're going to keep this a mule
Those
deer
are-
podcast.
Those were so easy to walk away from. We'll just put them that way.
That one bull you guys had on Digiscope, at least in the film, looked pretty decent. That little short clip of it.
There's some decent, we saw some decent bulls in there. And we ended up on the way out because the elk hunt in Idaho starts like a week later than the deer hunt.
Halfway through.
That's what people were hunting back there. And so we actually had, as we were coming out, we ended up finding a bunch of horse camps and
There was
and that's-
4 brand new ones on the
Yeah.
day that we came out. It was actually shocking.
Were
Yeah.
you guys nice hunters and passed along some info?
We actually never saw anybody. We just
Really?
ran into their
Just-
horses
just
tied
the
up.
two?
Yeah.
Yeah, because by the time we'll get into that, but by the time we were headed out, we didn't get up at the crack of dawn to get at that.
Yeah, why wouldn't
last day?
Slept a little.
But no, from that day. So that day we did a morning glass, got everything broke down, and it took us all day
Whole day
to get around and get camp set. So we didn't set camp till about an hour before light. Hurry and set camp, got everything thrown into the tent, head up on the ridge and did some glassing that night. I don't even know if we saw anything that night. 'Cause
I think
it was,
we saw a couple down below us, but that was the night we realized we weren't alone.
Yeah, we found them. We had a guy come up right below us in glass.
On stock or with stock?
No,
That
he
was
was the guy on foot.
That was the guy on foot.
Yeah, like I said, I knew where he came from. Like, that's one ballsy dude.
He found the first place that you could glass above the trees and stopped right there. And we
Yeah.
were up on the ridge on a really good vantage point, and he was spent by he got there for like
That
10
poor
minutes,
dude.
glassed for 10 minutes, and he just bailed back off.
Right off, yeah.
Man, isn't that crazy? You spend all that effort and time and energy to get back up in
I
there.
felt bad for him because I knew what it took to get in there, and I was just like, oh man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy though.
yeah.
But that goes into the llamas. Like we knew if you were packing, 50, 60 pounds of gear up in there, you're spent. Like
Yeah.
you're licked by the time you're in
Trail
there.
and I had a
so-
similar in New Mexico. That guy we ran into, and he
Yeah.
was back there for 3-4 days. He just couldn't. He ran out of steam. He had to bail.
Yeah, he
By
was.
the time he finally got to the elk, I mean, that's the different thing about hunting, right? Like, it's an endurance sport, kind of, but it's like it's survival too. You know what I mean? You got to perform once you're back there. An endurance sport, you can go full send until you cross the finish line. This is like an endurance sport until you get to the finish line, and then it actually starts. Like
Right.
now you have to perform almost.
Yeah.
Like
I think I'm not tip top shape athlete type of guy. In fact, I wasn't at all. But it's mental. Being able to, your body can do more things than
it's
your.
also like planning survival. You know what I mean? Like now you have to live back there.
Yeah.
It's like this guy. He came in on foot and bailed. Our guy in New Mexico overspent himself and had to bail. It's like that's the different part of hunting. Like when you try to explain it to somebody, it's like, yeah, you go on these massive endurance feats. You know what I mean? Like you're covering so much ground and elevation, all this shit. Well, once you're back there, it's not like you made it to the hotel and a steak dinner and you can start recovering. It's like, okay, now you're there.
Then
All
the game
now
starts.
Now you play.
Yeah.
Like now you got to play.
And I think it's the mental side of it. Like if you can if you can keep your head in it and just, I think a lot of times people spin
And you
out.
and I are similar. How we do that is a little bit of comfort back
Yeah.
there. Like that's how we make that work.
And I think picking a good hunting partner, like once we got back in there, we actually had some pretty good laughs and jokes and made fun of some people. But
I think a lot of it's an expectation. Like if you go into those knowing what to expect, like hey, it's gonna burn me up getting in there. But then if I got to take a half a day to recuperate and then extend out and go hunting, but I'm gonna last. I'm gonna put
Managing
the
that,
effort.
yeah.
Managing your expectations. I think is a lot of it.
I agree.
So you talk about the people. Do you guys have to change tactics because of hunting pressure in the area and move
A little
things
bit.
around?
We actually were sitting on that knob that first night. There was 2 guys that popped their head over the top peak, and that I didn't expect. I didn't think there was a shot in hell anybody would come up over the top. Come to find out, he was farther. He was just in a little ways. There's a trail that goes in there, and he had camp set up in there. But yeah, so I mean, at first glance, season hadn't even started yet, and we got a dude behind us, and we got a dude up there.
Is that defeating at all in your head?
Not really, because I know what it took for me to get in there and the scouting that I did in there and what it took and how hard it was just to find those 2 turds that I did find. So, you got to have a little sort of dedication. I mean, if some Joe Blow just went in there on his horses and just, I guess maybe the old-fashioned way, right? He's not going to know what I saw over there.
Yep.
And so, anyways, it was a little. It took you back a little bit, but I mean, it didn't kill any, enthusiasm.
We got a little bit more strategic. So like that night we decided, well, let's see what they're going to do. Like we at least need to understand what the two guys on the top side were doing and what that guy behind us was doing. And so I volunteered to stay behind. And so, I went back up that next morning. I went back up on the ridge so I could see the whole top side of it, and I could see back behind us where the guy was camped in. And Nate and Kayam dove off.
Is that opening day now?
That was opening day.
Yeah, that's opening day.
morning.
We're packing guns at that point. And so we ended up finding out that the topside guys were actually a horse camp that were...
drainage over.
Yeah.
They were one drainage over from us. And they came in the backside, got up on top, and was skirting the top up there. We didn't know exactly where they came from. They could have come from the front side and over, but they had actually come in through the back. And I bailed off that morning, which was super steep.
He thought it was going to take him an hour to get where and Nate's in shape. Nate's as in shape as anybody I've ever hunted with. And he was like,
Yeah, look at him.
It'll take me an hour. And I was like,
Took me an hour
man,
to get over there. It didn't.
an hour and 30 minutes into it, I'm
if
still
somebody's-
watching him climb out. And I'm like, oh, that's rough.
If
'cause
somebody's
that's
watching
steep.
this podcast on video, it's clear who the 3 mountain athletes are and who the luxury mountain guys are.
It was to the point where I was nervous about taking the llamas off of it.
Oh.
And which would come to find out, I'll take those things anywhere now.
Yeah,
Because
it's amazing what the terrain they can go through.
So anyways, we went down in because from where the main camp was, we couldn't look into that drainage that I had seen the deer in. So we had to go down and around and get close enough and get up to where we could see in there. So we did that morning, and small bucks. The deer were still in there.
That one decent 4-point you passed was that morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were thinking for a little bit on that one, it seemed like.
I was, and only because I was trying to figure out where the hell he came from. Hadn't seen him before, and you know how elk, when you spook elk and they take off, they'll go for miles, and they're just open mouth, tongue out, just going. I've never seen a mule deer sit there for 10 minutes, open mouth, tongue out, and huff and puff. And we heard shots that morning on the front side. And we were sitting at the spring. Hadn't even seen him yet. We're sitting at the spring getting more water, and I'm looking kind of above us. And I was just telling the camera dude of how amazing it looks above us, and yet there's no animals at that level. There was nothing. It was dead up there. And I look up and I see this buck just doing this through the timber. I'm going, son of a bitch, he saw us. You know, he was sneaking, getting away. I'm going, damn it. So I, of course, got up and got on him. And that's when I noticed that he had been running for quite some time. And he stood up there catching his breath for the longest time ever. And that's when you saw me in the film sitting there looking at him going,
Yeah, you can see his mouth just dogged open.
oh, yeah. And just his whole body just, it was impressive. But I think the guys that were in, because that was actually the same draw that the guys had a horse camp on that were hunting off the top. And I think they shot at him opening morning, and he somehow cruised back over. He had to have. It was kind of impressive. But I let him go. I thought Brando would chew my ass when I got back to camp and showed him, but he didn't. So he goes, no, that was a good choice. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Especially it's opening day, right?
Yeah.
Opening day, and for some, like I said, I knew he wasn't the one because he was darker horned. I knew the one I was after was lighter horned, and he had a better frame than this one. And yeah, so
What class buck was this? Just
150.
Like general? Yeah. Just a good solid buck.
he was a good 4-point. He was just
Yeah.
short everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then we had to crawl back out of that freaking hellhole. And when I got back to the top, that's when I told Brandon. It was kind of funny. The camera guy, we got up to the top, and the climb back out was the worst. We got back to camp, and I'm doing okay, and get into the tent. I take all my shit off. The camera guy walks in the tent and just hits the floor. He just smoked. And I told Brandon, I said, we're not doing that one every day. I said, we gotta figure something else out here. So we next morning we went a different route. We went the other direction because I'd seen bucks over there before too, scouting. And that was the day we were sitting on our phones trying to find.
Yeah, so that next, so we didn't, I stayed back, I glassed up there, glassed back behind us towards, what did it be, the east a little bit.
Yes.
We didn't see shooter buck. There's 2 basins behind us that before, and we talked about, well, with that experience, if we're gonna commit, we're committing in, and we're moving camp in, and we're going out that way. Like we're going out the other side of the mountain.
You're gonna hitchhike then to get back to your
Well,
truck?
to do that, so no, that's what we're doing. So we checked the 2 basins behind us, and we saw it was full elk. And we saw some does and fawns was it. And so we have service up on top. So I'm texting my wife, and she's 7 months pregnant at that time. So I'm texting her, and I'm like, hey, so if we come out the other side of the mountain, will you drive to this town and pick us up? And she's like, yeah, I'll load the 2 boys up. I was like, hey, I can get you a room at this hotel, and then I'll drop a pin, text it to you, and you pick us up, and then we'll just load. Basically, we were going to load Nate up in the back of the 4Runner, like literally in the back, because I got 2 car seats. I'm full. We're going to drive around, pick up his truck, and just shuttle.
Yeah.
And so
What a wife.
we
That
got a
was
hold of
shout out
that,
to the wife right
and
there.
she was
Miss
like,
Evans is a stud.
she committed that. So at that point, we were like, we at least have a way
have
to
an
do
option.
it. And he's like, well, let me see if he's like, Bo offered at one time to just, pick us up.
He offered it a couple of times because he knew where we were at. And he goes, yeah, if you need me to go move your truck around, he goes, just let me know. I went, perfect. So I shot him we were back at camp, and we didn't have service there, so it was all off of inReach. So I sent him a message, and he said, yeah, no worries, where are your keys? I told him where the keys were at, and he goes, you're good to go. I went, well, yeah, all right.
So Bo,
That's awesome.
now we had a commitment with Bo, which is right there. And so we actually, that next day, or was it that afternoon?
That afternoon.
We packed up camp, and it's another 3.5 miles. You bomb off this thing, and you're at that point, we're committed, because we're like 15 miles in.
This is day 2?
Day 2 of the season, so day 4 of the hunt.
Of being back there.
Yeah.
So this is a completely new area from where you originally saw this bigger buck, right?
No, we were actually moving
Towards
closer
him.
towards
Yeah.
it.
Oh, gotcha.
So
That's what I was wondering. If you guys
Instead
are
of
giving up on the buck? Or
no, because of the way that these canyons and basins are set, like they run kind of away from us. So we're not able to glass. From where we're at, we can glass. It's the typical like it's a lot like Wyoming, a lot like Idaho, where you have the timbers on the one side, and then those ridges, like the south facing are all open, and the north facing are all timbered. And we're like, given the situations, we're saying full moon. It's warmer than we were wanting it to be. We didn't get any weather. Those bucks are on the timber side, and we can't cut that timber from the angle that we're at. Gotcha. So each move, we're trying to move so we can cut that timber apart. And so we're actually getting further down in so we can get an angle on the timber side. So now we're down in miles.
And we didn't commit to that fully until it was opening day when I was in there and I passed that buck sitting at the spring. Before I came out of there, I was already thinking, because I knew the hike. So I thought, there's no way. What if we moved camp down in here? So before I came out, I made sure there was water down there so we could do this. And
So we moved camp.
we moved camp, found out the water source that I had seen from afar. It was a spring, but it was also...
it was an elk wallow.
It was an elk wallow.
It straight tastes like elk pits.
So is this your science project?
Yeah.
Where you shoved your pipes in there and
That's project
Your
number
trekking
2.
pole.
The first one is we got gallons of
Right?
water,
Yeah,
just
trekking pole.
that stagnant. Have you ever drank out of an elk water?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like straight, like
I had a camera guy in full-on tears at one point because we drank out of an elk wallow.
we could drink it, but I was like,
We tried everything under the sun to kill the taste.
yeah.
We were adding tablets just to get the chlorine in there. We were adding Gatorade mixed, plus the I mean, we were trying everything.
And there is nothing that will take that piss
Nothing you
taste
can
away.
do.
Yeah, but when you're thirsty enough, it doesn't really matter.
That's a fact.
And we drank a bottle of it, and then we were like, "Hey, no, there's something we can do here," and that's what the science project or jamming trekking poles in mud, and then Kayam and I, which is funny because we did all of that, and we got like 3 gallons of water that way. And then that evening, we get all camp set up. We do the science project. We get camp, and Nate goes up on to glass the exact basin where he saw those bucks. And I go out about 2 miles from that camp. I go out on the ridge. And it opens up a whole nother set of basins just to see what we have around us. And so on our way to that, Chaim and I actually found that there's a spring box, a
legit
built
spring
spring
box.
box.
Somebody went in there and built one.
Yeah, one of the ranchers or sheep herders or whatever had been in there and actually laid like a PVC pipe in a spring box, and it's flowing like a liter every 30 seconds. So we're like, oh yeah, we ain't doing
That's
this.
beautiful.
good water.
Yeah, we're
That's
like,
beautiful.
and it was a little ways from camp, but it was well worth it. So we found that better water at that camp, but I only ended up seeing, I saw the moose that night. We saw a couple of decent moose on that side, and then some elk, and then Nate turned up.
Just the little bucks. The same 2 turds that we'd seen all week.
Yep.
Yeah, there wasn't much, but still, we thought, for some reason, we hadn't quite determined that he was gone yet. We still figured he's either there or he's moved, but we hadn't cut his basin apart enough to determine he's not here. So the next morning, Brando went in above camp to see in there. I skirted down and around through the timber and went on to the far side so I could just specifically to look back into the timber. And that was the day that we had kind of determined that
Well, you had that cinnamon bear go
that
through
old
that whole.
Cinnabon, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good bear.
So you guys are splitting up, right? Every morning and every
Yeah.
evening, you go in different directions.
Just trying to maximize what we can see.
Just trying to find one of those 2 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was day 5 or that was day 5 or day 6. The morning of kill, like I said, we determined he's not there.
Well, so that day Nate stayed up on top. So he went down around, and that morning I went up. I saw those 2 bucks that I passed on. Little 3-point.
Yes.
2 little 3-points. I came back, got water, got camp situated, and then I went all the way out, clear to the bottom of the canyon that I could glass up at that point we were like, okay, there is 2 spots that he could be. And after that evening, we didn't turn anything up. We'd literally covered the basin he was in, the one next to him. And so we'd covered basically everything that buck could have been on this side and determined that those deer are not there.
Is that your final assessment? You don't think that buck was there, or do you think you just didn't see him?
I don't think he was there. He was he's either gone, or he went over.
On the backside?
And it was the morning of. We didn't even glass those basins. We split up. No, you did. You went up.
I went up. I went up and worked because we were thinking, I was like, well, worst case, because the only thing he could have, if he was there, the only thing he could have done is been in timber. So my goal was to just kick timber.
Right.
At this point, we're like,
You kick him out or...
yep.
So
move on.
I went back kind of the way that we had came into this camp. I ran the trail back to look almost into one of our original basins because we'd never looked at it from that side. And our plan was to meet back at the spring where I passed on that buck the first day, and that's what we did. And that horse camp that was in there came out the day that we moved camp in. And what's funny about that trail is it runs right along the base of that little basin that he was in. And so looking back at it now, we don't think he was in there all week
We
because
think
when
that
those
horse
horses
can't
came
kick
in.
him out.
Yeah.
Pressure kicked him, yeah.
Not to mention the opening day I spent in there, you could smell. I'm just down from that horse camp looking into the top side of his basin, and you could smell their campfire cooking, and the horses were hobbled out there making all sorts of racket. So anyways, we met back at the spring, and we figured, screw it, we're here. Let's run to the top. Because we'd also determined what was interesting is throughout the week we were losing moon. So the moon was getting shorter and shorter and shorter, but we're also seeing less and less movement. And that tells you, okay, if the moon's not coming out, let's say until 3 a.m., they're moving from 3 a.m. to 6.
And they're better.
Then what are they doing? But they got to
That's a
move
shame.
at some point.
Yeah.
So they're moving midday at some point. They're either staying in timber or they're moving sometime during the day. So the good thing about the front side was it was a lot more open. And we figured with that horse camp, that trail goes all the way to the top. We knew they were hunting one direction. They were hunting to the south.
Because that's where the horse trail
Went.
Yeah.
And so we figured if anything, I was pretty certain nothing had gone north of there. So that was our plan, was just hit the top. It was kind of a last-ditch effort.
Well, it's funny, like you talk about being, like, I can't remember if you said it or I said it, but we were both thinking the exact same thing. Like we sat and we ate breakfast and we're like, well, what's the plan? And I was like,
Yeah,
we might as well go up. And Nate was like, I was thinking the same thing. And so we head up and over the top.
we sat up on top for a little bit, had lunch. And then finally, Brando stayed to Glass there, and I ran the ridge out to Glass. And I got to a point, I wanted to get around the peak, and I got to a point where I turned the corner and I look, and there's nothing but shale all the way to the peak. And I'm damn near to the top anyways, but I'm gonna have to side hill this shit to get around. And I thought, fuck. And I looked down below me, and these chutes were going down, and they just looked so good. And I thought, I need to glass this before I move any farther. And I just sat down, and 2 bucks were rebedding. Because it was a sunny side, very little timber, a couple pockets, but for the most part open. So these things were having to change beds regardless.
What time of day?
3 o'clock in the afternoon. And these 2 changed beds, and one of them was okay. He had a good back end on him. He was crab 4, but he was busted on one side and crab on the other. I didn't want to kill him, but I figured he would. So
That was the exact. So he hollers at me. I grab cameraman. We go over, and I was like, "What do you got?" And he's like, "Well, there's this little 2-point down there." I was like, "Okay." And that's the only one we could see. He's like, "But there's this 4-point."
there's a 4-point there.
Were you trying to talk him into it?
Yeah.
Well,
He's
The
like,
nice thing about hunting with
his
Brandon is you know something's dying.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, my exact question. Well, how good a buck is he? Well, he's a good buck. I was like, you want to kill him? Well, I don't want to kill him, but I think he should die.
I think he should die.
I was like, So at that point,
I know
I'm
what
like,
that
well,
means.
You're the guy.
yeah, I
Only
don't
other
care.
tag in camp.
Second to last day.
They were sitting there about 400 yards. We couldn't see the bigger one. The little one was bedded, but he was losing shade already, and he'd only been there for 20 minutes. So I figured, okay, and the way the sun was going, I said, these suckers are going to move again. So it was just a matter of time before they stood up. So Brandon kind of didn't have it out, or he had it out, but wasn't sitting on it. But he had his gun kind of ready, and my shit's still strapped to the pack, and because I wasn't planning on shooting him, right? And I knew he wasn't going to miss at 400 yards. So I'm just sitting there, kind of above him, looking, and movement caught my eye right below us, and there's another group, a different group, rebedding right underneath us. And I thought, you got to be shitting me. So now it's kind of a scramble.
Yeah, get your gun out.
Yeah. He runs back, grabs
Well,
his
so
gun.
I'm on the gun, looking
Yeah.
through the scope, cranked up, and I'm like, oh, that one buck's.
This new group of bucks, was there a better one in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
that
Better
buck with
buck
the
in it.
5
Yeah.
on the one side,
Yeah,
right?
so-
Forked G3?
3.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yep.
In line on the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, both sides are in line.
Yeah. Because there was 5 of them, and I could see, I saw them with my bare eyes. And when I brought my binoculars, first one I saw was the 1-horn 3-point, and he had a damn good frame. But I thought, son of a bitch, he's broke. And then I looked at the first one, you could see 4-point, and then I went through the rest of them. And then it was get your guns and shit. And so then my pack was kind of actually wasn't on top of the ridge. It was on their side of the ridge. So I had, leaning over, trying to unbuckle my shit and get it up and whatever. So it was kind of a mess there for a minute. Finally got on him. I still didn't have a good look at the 4-point. And that's when Brando asked, he goes, you going to shoot him? I said, I don't know what he is just yet.
Yeah.
He's a 5 on that one side. And then he turned and I looked at him and I said, yeah. And then he goes, you going to kill him? I said, yeah. And then it took a minute because they didn't know we were there. And they were just kind of working their way, and they just got to the pocket of trees. So at some point they were going to bed down, and come to find out later, we knew they were going to bed down there. They've been bedding there for years. And there's a branch right in his vitals, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm
How it
just
always
sitting there
goes.
waiting, and finally he's just not moving. So I finally said, "Fuck it," and I grabbed my stuff and I walked below Brandon.
That's why you moved. Okay.
Yeah, and
Brandon, are you in the gun the whole time?
I'm
he
in the
is.
gun.
He
you got
had
this
him.
buck in the gun?
Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, he had him
At no
dialed.
point were you like,
No.
oh man, I shot that buck. My bad.
And that goes
Oh,
with,
he's dead.
that was going like Nate did all the work. Like me
Sure.
being in southern Utah, he
Yeah.
did the scouting trips. He stashed water. He aligned the llamas. It's his trip, and I was fully committed. Like first shot's yours, no matter what. But I did ask like 4 or 5 times. You sure you want to kill this deer?
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah.
Because it's like literally,
I'm tracking.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
I knew if for some reason something were to happen while I'm trying to move my stuff or whatever, I knew if there was any doubt that buck was going to die regardless, because I knew he had him pegged. So it was like I said, a mad rush, but I was calm, and I laid down behind him. Well, he saw movement. He didn't see us, but he saw something move up on the ridge when I backed up to get around Brando. But if they don't know anything's there, they're not really that spooked. They don't have a clue at this point. They're just kind of frozen, which was great for us because they were all frozen broadside. And yeah, so finally had another look at him. I said, "Think I should kill him?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." Boom.
How far was that shot?
200.
200 yards?
Yeah,
It's hard to tell. I was trying to look when I watched it last night. Where did you hit that buck?
right in the heart. Right.
Did
like
it
dead
just-
pinwheel
yeah.
just folded him.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it looked
Right in the crease.
Gotcha. It looked a little low, but I couldn't tell for sure
It was-
because it just was so close and
I
so
thought
quick.
it was too, and I went back and watched it a couple of times, and it was perfect.
Dead X'd him.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's awesome.
But what's crazy though, like all of a sudden you see the deer stumble, and then I see the broken horn buck just standing there.
So when I shot, because the video slowed down at that moment.
Okay.
When I shot, he wheeled and died right in the trees. The rest of them went into the trees, and the smaller bucks came out below. And he asked if he should kill the
well, that one horn 3 came out and stood. Like the smaller bucks all funnel out the bottom, and that one horn
stayed.
3 just like stops looking at us.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like,
Is he?
I'm still in the gun at this
Yeah,
point.
no hesitation because he's a 3.
He asked him a couple
There was a-
times.
there was
should
a little
I shoot him? Should I shoot him?
No,
Should I shoot him?
we asked like 4 or 5 times.
Should I
Like,
shoot him? Should I shoot him? Should I shoot
yeah,
him?
you want me to kill him? And you're like, I don't care, kill him. I was like, and then one of us, I think it was you, went, how bad do you
How
want
bad do you
tonight
want
to
tonight
suck?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's gonna suck either way, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
already
So-
sucking anyways.
What was I was curious, Brandon, because it didn't seem like you were overly like, yeah, I want to kill this buck for sure right now. This is the buck I came in here after. But like, what was it that tripped your trigger for it?
One, that deer's body dwarfed any other deer in that group.
So he's a bigger bodied buck.
Oh,
Yep.
it was
Yep.
like that deer was, and I've killed some big, like some of the big Colorado body deer, and he was every bit that big. And what I remember is because I'm in the gun before Nate's. Like I'm watching these deer kind of funnel up before they even stop in those trees, and I remember seeing the one side 3 is just a big 3-point horn.
He's a big frame.
And that's like
Yeah.
for some of us who grew up shed hunting, like when you
Yeah.
pick up
Oh,
a
yeah.
big shed horn, that's what I'm picturing in my mind is like holding that horn is a big horn.
Isn't that funny? I do that too. I've got that bull I killed this last year sitting in my basement in my office, and I walk by and he's got a busted 5 on the one side, but the 6 side sits closer to the wall, so it's kind of silhouetted. And every time I walk by that, I look at it and be like, man, if I picked that horn up, that'd be a pretty good horn.
That's
Like,
and
that's
so
my
I'm
first
like,
thought that always goes to my mind. Man, that'd be a big shed.
and he's looking at me, and the horn is outside his ears, and I'm like, it's a big old deer. I'm like, I would had he had 2 horns, I'd have killed him.
Yeah.
I don't care that he's only got one horn.
Did
so.
you think like, oh, this is cool? We're both here. He's just shot a buck. You know,
Well,
second to
throughout
last
the
day.
whole
We
thing,
joked about it all week.
Shooting
Yeah.
doubles.
People
Yeah.
don't pull doubles that often. I don't
Oh,
think
no.
I ever have. Have you? You don't. Have
I'm trying to
you?
think. I don't think so.
You pulled a double?
Doll sheep double with my dad.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Pulled the doll sheep double with my dad, but that's the only time.
Yeah. I
So
know.
that, and we joked about that the whole time
All week.
back here, and so I was like,
Yeah, we'll just go in here and we'll shoot 2 and go, you know. And, well, what was crazy, mine died in the timber. He hard punched his, and it looked like they fell on top of each other.
Go back to the angle on your shot because it looks like he's. I couldn't tell because you have the cameraman that looks like he's off to your right.
he's
maybe?
right over my shoulder.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So is that buck kind of facing you?
He's dead away. Like I shouldn't say
trying to
dead away.
remember.
He's like
It was a tight squeeze.
hard quarter, and so I caught like
And again, he's 200 yards, right?
yeah.
So you shot him front shoulder, quartering away?
Yeah,
Quartering away.
quarter
Yeah.
away.
I mean, he folds.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh, it-
went down hard.
He's probably
Yeah.
shooting a 6.5. That's why.
I wanted to
22
get into,
50.
though.
Yeah,
25-06, Brady.
195 grain bullet does some damage.
What
at
were you
200
shooting?
yards.
Just curious.
Yeah.
We haven't.
28s. I was actually shooting his 28.
Yeah.
Both of you 28 Nosler.
Yep.
That's such a good
what
gun.
bullets and stuff.
So you were running just the factory Nosler, that 175 long range Accubon,
Accubon long range.
That's what I shoot out of my 28.
and so
Yeah.
which I've shot piles of deer with that.
And I've shot
Deer,
the
elk,
Accubon out of my 7 for years. And it's
Yeah.
just,
and it's performed. That bullet's performed from 900 yards to 90 yards. And
Yeah, there's
so-
no question that's the go-to factory bullet,
yeah.
especially
And
out of
so-
those Brownings.
But I was running out of my 28. This is the new. So I'd gotten that brand new carbon Macmillan, and so we'd hopped up a 195 burger
Okay, now we're
out of
talking.
it. So yeah,
We
190.
weren't on board until that point.
I
What
wasn't
was
on
it
board
off
till
of? That was
now.
off
Now
the
I'm on
Browning.
board.
It's the
The Max.
carbon Macmillan. It's the long range, but it's the carbon Macmillan.
Yep.
So it has the carbon fiber Macmillan stock on it.
Damn.
And
So-
mine didn't come in time, and we needed a Browning.
Yeah.
And so, of course, he's got a pile of them. So
Yeah.
that's why I was using his.
Uh-huh.
And the factory 175s was what he was shooting out of that one anyways. And they, of course, they do what they do.
Yeah.
And they shot
I've been
great.
shooting that out of my gun since I got it.
But no, that's like I let him take that in July and just let him run bullets and get
Yeah.
comfortable behind it. But no, they both did. At that range, though, I was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was debating on putting a kill shot or I was going to try and shoot him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So,
Did you guys both had the same scopes loopholed on there to look like, or was there a difference?
I usually love the Vortex PST Gen 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
I've run
classic.
that on multiple,
Yeah.
and that's what was on yours.
That's what was
Okay.
on that
So
one.
hard to
But
tell.
I went building the carbon fiber lighter gun. I think it's a VX6 on that gun. So
Didn't you have the Mark 5?
no, it's a VX6 second focal on the loophole one.
I have the Mark V on mine. Love it.
So
I'm a loophole guy. And then when
Yeah.
Brando gave me that gun with the Vortex on it, I almost cried.
Are you-
But I thought, well, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
One question I always have: are you ever concerned with putting all your rounds on your cheek piece like you do?
no,
Like banging them up or doing anything?
I'm very particular about my gun. So like even loading it in the backpack on the way in, that's like and then I run a gun bearer, so it's
Yeah,
always
yours is a
on
pretty
me.
slick
Like
system.
I mean Lorenzo's hunted with me. Whether it's an archer, whether it's a bow, like I'm very particular about. It's probably OCD. I just don't want to admit
Oh,
that I
it's
have
de-
He's
one.
a strap guy, too.
It's definitely
Like-
OCD.
like, I don't
These
have
are the
loose
questions I was going to get
straps.
into with Nate.
Yeah, Brandon's desk. You ever been to his office?
A few times.
His
It is
desk is
definitely
always
OCD.
organized. It
Yes,
always looks
always.
nice. Mine's always got coffee cups all over everywhere. I mean, I got
Yeah.
papers. Brandon's was
His
always
backpack-
very well ordered.
His backpack, there is not a fucking seam out of place on
Yeah,
that thing.
everything
That's
is
a tight ship.
always in place.
Yeah, like I'll take in the Velcro. Like I can't have
It's
loose straps.
perfect.
I hate like a
Oh,
loose
you do
strap.
those rolled
Oh
them
yeah,
up?
no, it's like tight. So
It's incredible. And honestly, it's like it is perfectly packed at all times. Even when you're
Super
like
clean.
running and gunning, it's still perfectly packed.
yeah, OCD. What can I say?
It's definitely OCD.
You recognize that, huh?
Yeah, well, it was one of the times that one pannier gave us a headache, and of course it's always in the shittiest spot, right? And so you're just trying to throw the thing back on there and get it situated and this and that. But even with the straps on the panniers and shit, it had to be tucked just right.
I hate things
It's every
flopping
time.
and loose. Like
It's so funny.
Back to your shot. Was that all debris and dust floating up in the air from the recoil or the muzzle brake?
yeah,
That was insane. I know. I was like, is that something slowed? Like, it's obviously slowed down footage, right? But I saw that. I was like, holy gosh! Like that brake must have just kicked up everything around there.
Sitting where I was sitting, I made
Did you
damn
get-
sure to do this.
Yeah, those gnarly brakes can
Yeah.
eat your ears. Like,
Yeah, they're loud.
yeah.
yeah.
When
They're
I shot,
nice,
I
though.
didn't hear shit. But
So So you got 2 dead deer basically laying on top of each other.
They were 5 yards from each other in the
So
tree.
when you said how bad do you want it to suck
Yeah, I
tonight?
was gonna-
Like, how bad did it suck? I
How
heard
bad
Brandon, I
did
heard
it
Brandon
actually
look
suck?
at it. And,
Originally-
the years and the wisdom comes through, and Brandon says, "Let's
Oh,
just
it won't
talk
be
this
that
through
bad."
real quick.
Yeah,
This is not going to be that
Well,
bad. We're
yeah.
just going to go here. We're going to go there. It's going to be
Which
nice
is
and
ironic
mellow.
because I'm not the optimistic one in the office.
No.
I'm usually like doom and gloom, which is, well, no, I don't care. Like, I'm known
Who
for
you
that.
are. Yeah, it is what it is.
But I'm looking down there and I'm like, it's steep. Like, it's stupid
It's
steep.
stupid.
And I'm like, well, they're dead and we're hauling them out. Like, we ain't changing that fact. So I'm like, oh, once we get it to here, it's only 3 miles to camp. But it's this 200 yards of... Remember, like in the story, he's saying this shale chute is what stopped him from going across with no dead deer.
Right.
We shot deer on the other side of that shale chute.
we
like-
lost the camera guy on the shell shoot coming out.
Yes, we did, actually.
Poor little bugger.
You
But,
gotta
yeah.
you gotta get into that part of this.
You didn't
Well,
have any
that-
food probably.
That and so we get to our bucks, and it's so steep we can't work on them where they're at. Luckily, that patch of timber they laid in there was years worth of beds.
Yeah, you ever been
in
into
that.
like deer beds that are like
Yes.
way
You
steep?
walk in, you go,
Yes.
Like
"Whoa."
deer have been bedding here for
Yeah.
decades.
I
Like,
remember one time
That's what I
on a
shot
boat-
my deer out of in Wyoming. Same, it was so
Yeah.
steep. But where he bedded, I mean, it was dug out.
Yeah.
I remember watching a buck one
Nice
time on a
little
bow
bowl.
hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I watched him graze this whole hillside, go up against this great big rock. And I'm like, oh, he's going to bed right there in front of that rock. And he did. But that bed was so deep.
they just disappear.
Literally all I could see is about the top 6 inches of his back tines. Like he was in a hole that he just cut out underneath that rock.
The original plan, half of it worked, was we wanted to get both bucks rolled down into these beds. And if you miss, you're screwed.
Yeah, because they keep going.
Yeah.
I missed.
I made mine, and I hear Brando on the other side of the trees. Nate,
Deer
I
coming.
missed. And you could hear him tumbling. Finally, luckily, he hit a flat rock down there
So
somewhere.
the only thing, literally the only thing that stopped them from piling on each other was there's this dead pine, and Nate's came in front of it, and so he could shoot it down into the beds. Mine died on the other side of the dead pine, and so I'm like, well, I can't work on him here because he's tangled in trees, and I'm like, well, maybe if I get him going, I can, do the whole hot trot down in and try and drag and swing into the bed.
The old whip around. You know?
It didn't work. Like it just in through the trees, and so mine ended up getting caught up in some trees. Right below the trees, there's a flat rock, size of a garbage can, and that was the only thing that stopped him. So I cut him up on that flat rock because if we move off of it, it's to the bottom, and we didn't want that.
Does he only have one horn, one antler?
Yeah.
Or did he bust the other side?
Yeah, he's
Or-
broke.
No,
Pedicle.
the other side,
Or did he
it
not
had
grow
a
it?
So it
bit.
grew and broke.
Yeah. I don't know, and we talked about that.
We
like,
thought maybe it got shot off because there was quite a few shots over nothing crazy, but there was a shot a day on that side over there.
Was it busted right on the pedicle? Like, did
So,
he have
like,
burrs on the pedicle? Did he?
that
he had a
far
little
up?
bit of-
You think he broke it in velvet?
No, it was hard horn.
Hard horn.
Yeah, it was slicked off hard horn. I don't. Yeah, we looked at it. It's like just a fracture. Like they're usually with like a bullet hole. You'll see where that bullet comes
Yeah.
in and then it blasts out. It's just
Clean break.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like to know what happened there because it's
I know. I've seen a number of one-horn bucks, and I remember a buck in Colorado that I didn't shoot. It was probably like a 180 on one side. The other side, I could never tell if he actually even had anything because it was like almost right to the skull. Like I couldn't tell if he even had an antler. So I'm always curious as to what happened.
what it takes to
Yeah, what
snap
it
a
takes
horn
to-
at the
especially
base.
at the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean tips, I get it, but like right at the base.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if he tipped over and clanked that on a rock or.
we were joking about it. I was like, well, it's steep enough. If he just misstepped, he's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
down it goes.
Yeah,
But
smack that antler on a rock.
No, it took us 2 hours, maybe a little hour and a half.
we did slick work.
Yeah, got them both cut up. We split them up between Brando, myself, and the camera guy. So
Camera
he
guy
was,
helps take meat.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a
That's
back.
a-
He's a
He,
backer.
he was slick.
Dude,
He's a
Kyle's a
stud.
backer, man. No
He's a
doubt,
stud.
no joke.
One thing about
He's a
him,
good
right?
guy.
Throughout the week, this is my first time being on camera, right? So I don't know shit. Throughout the week, typically I'm a little old school, right? So if there's work that needs to be done, you do it, right? So I mean, there was a couple instances where
You're not from California.
I could use a hand, and I can see in the corner of my eye this dude's just standing there, and I'm fixing to turn and chew his ass, and I turn around, he's got the camera. I go, oh
Yeah.
shit, okay, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Never mind.
Yeah.
But he would get the shots that he needs, but then he'd pitch in.
Yep.
I mean, the dude was a rock star all week.
Yeah.
But so he had a third or
Yeah,
so
we
whatever.
divided it pretty equal because we're like, at this point it's dark, we're headlamping, and you're like up the chute going,
So yeah, we get across.
yeah, I'm too old and fat for this. So
He's in front, I'm in the middle, and the camera guy's behind me, and him and I make it through the shale slide, and then we hear rocks and everything like that. And both of us, as we can, turn around. You all right? Yeah. You good? Yeah. All right. And you hear him get up because you really can't see him. You can kind of see a little silhouette back there, and he's all of a sudden he appears on the. Because there was one little trail that went across. You know, it was nothing of a trail at all, but I mean, you could see where animals use it, right? Mm-hmm. So he got back up and came on his way.
He wouldn't tell you if he wasn't.
Oh,
no,
He honestly is a stud, man.
no, he was a trooper. It's just, and everybody's fallen in that shell. Like it just hurts because you're hitting knees and shins on
And
rock.
it's all pointed.
Yeah.
It's all
And it's
ledge and
just-
pointed. Yeah.
No, we
Shit's
made
gnarly.
it up and out, and
got back about midnight.
yeah.
So how bad did it suck? Scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, so in the film, you'll see Brando, and he'll say, all we got to do is get in right here, and it's downhill. It's not true. Because we were in the dark, and we could have, from where we shot him from, we could have kind of flatlined that to the saddle and then
It
down.
can't. Yeah.
I don't think we did that because we kept trying to get to the ridge. We finally got to the ridge, and once we got to the ridge, then it was downhill. But it was coming out was the worst part, but we knew it was short.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't really that bad. It was just by the time we huffed it and puffed it to the top, that stretch down just drug.
The downhill
on.
almost is like,
It-
but
it-
you got weight on you. So
Yeah,
like,
and you think in your mind too, you're like, man, this should be easier than it is, you know? So you're like, you're grinding, but I mean, you got so much weight on your back, it really isn't that easy
Yeah,
no matter
I mean,
what you're doing.
We've had worse and done longer, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is what, you know, your typical
it
pack.
didn't
Yeah.
suck that bad. I'd say like a 5, 1 to 10. It
Yeah.
was a 5.
It was short lived.
Yeah.
That
That's
first
nice.
little push.
And we knew we had
was
llamas
so
at
nice.
camp to.
Yeah, we could have hung everything there, brought the llamas back the next day.
Yeah.
But we were at pretty much the
Comparable
end of
to
our rope.
Porter's bull pack out.
About the same.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just that one gnarly stretch, and then you're home running.
Isn't that the best feeling though when you get back to the tent? You
Oh,
got you got a
man.
couple bucks, a bunch of
Oh,
meat, you peel that off, get some food in your belly. Did you guys eat some that night, or did you just hit a mountain house and go to bed?
Yeah, we didn't do nothing too crazy. Just kind of ate normal. I mean, we had supper when we got back. Got everything, strung up in a tree.
Yeah.
But no, it was not. And that was kind of the thing. It was hey, let's just do the push tonight. That way we can just sleep in the morning, just back camp, spend the day getting out of here, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people might think like, oh, let's hang it. We have llamas. Let's just go back empty, get llamas, bring the llamas back.
If we
get a
weren't,
deer.
if we weren't at the end of the trip,
Maybe done that.
we might have done that. But I mean, just giving us a nice full day of no rush to get out was nice.
I like
So,
those days in the back when your success is there. You
Yeah.
can kind of calm it out, take care of shit,
It was
take your
easy.
time. I like those days.
Yeah.
Any
And it's
back-
kind of, it's like and we're all, like, we've all talked about it. We're all the same. You want to get back to the truck, but once you get back to the truck and home, you're like, man, I wish I was waking up on the mountain one more time,
You're
just
like, shit.
another day.
So on the
Just one more
suck,
day. So it's kind of nice to have that, like, that day.
That day. Yeah.
Trail and I in New Mexico had an extra 2 days, 2.5 days. That's a little much.
Yeah.
That was a little much. We had some logistic issues.
the suck fest was the next day, which we didn't anticipate that.
Not at all. Nope.
Like
What, the river crossings?
The river crossings?
Yeah.
how long it really was. Like when you look on a map, because we had maps back there. I was drawn, and you're zooming in, and I'm like, we got 15 river crossings ish, but it was like 13 and a half miles.
In and out from truck to truck, 28 miles. And that was just
Yeah, 13 miles as the crow flies is a long
That's a
ways.
long ways.
In like
I don't know if most people realize how far.
No,
that
and that's-
actually
that
is
was what
because it's
hit
a
us.
full day of hiking the entire day.
And it's
Like from
unstable.
light to dark.
Unstable ground the entire way. This isn't like you're walking 13 miles on a blacktop road. You know, that's
Yes.
that's what it gets to. It's like there is not a stable footing anywhere coming off those mountains, and it's 13 miles of that.
Yeah, and that's why I say that you say 13 miles, but when you do 13 miles in a
It's
day,
different.
I remember getting back to the truck and just being like, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
We were
glad
both
to sit
smoked.
down. Like,
Yeah, we coming out because we anticipated 13 or 14 crossings. So when we hit 13, I thought, all right, good, we're done.
We're golden.
yeah, we're like 3 miles in when we hit 13.
Shit, we still had 13 more to go, if not more.
Are you peeling off your clothes every time you get one of those, dressing down?
At that
You know,
point,
at
you're
that
just-
point, you're just
because-
marching through.
We're
we
far
knew-
enough up the canyon that it's like, you're stepping through, like you're splashing through and you're getting ankle deep. Like, it's not even hitting your pant leg. Like, you just splash through. And then,
It
like,
got
halfway in, we're like, oh, it's like calf deep. But I'm like, well, if we make it quick, like they started trotting through, the last 3 or 4, it's like,
Waist
Yeah.
deep.
you're waist deep. And I was like, I'm too tired to stop.
Yeah.
My boots are already wet. Like,
And the trick is get the llamas moving before you commit.
yes.
So you
Yeah,
can go
they
faster as
hung
well.
my ass out to dry in one of them. We're sitting at the creek bank, and I got the lead rope in my hand. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to pick my path, through the rocks. So all of us in a line are just sitting there looking. The llamas are looking too. And I said, all right, let's go. And I went. And I got halfway out and got almost
Pulled
dragged back
Yep.
on my back. And I went, come on, you son of a bitch. Because now I'm starting to get,
Yeah, wet. Real wet.
yeah.
Once they got into the
So the
groove,
trick
though,
is like 20 yards out, you're moving and don't stop.
I wouldn't say I back up a couple feet and I at
Just so
least get them moving.
so they
The
knew.
whole string moving.
Yeah.
So they know we're crossing the river.
Yeah.
And once
Yeah.
they get it, like it wasn't.
Yeah. Once they go, and they're,
And we're talking like belly deep up the panniards.
One of those times it seemed like it was crazy deep.
Yeah.
Like you took a little like spill on one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you can't see at that point. It's deep enough. Ahead of that, you can see around rocks, and you're like, I don't want to hit that. At that point, it's deep enough. You're not seeing bottom, so you're just like, I hope I don't land on a slick rock.
the
And I
foot
hit a
goes
slick
where the
rock.
foot goes and
Yeah,
roll the dice.
we both stumbled in a couple of those crossings. So,
So you
but
guys-
the llamas did great through it.
You guys had one little spot where you sounded like you got really excited and you were dreaming about this meal. You said you knew exactly what you guys were going to eat when you got out of there.
Oh, we had it to a T.
What was said meal that you were so excited about?
A greasy cheeseburger.
Greasy cheeseburger?
It was, and 2 of the big sides. They were these fries. They dazzle up with all sorts of good shit.
Brisket
Yeah,
fries.
yeah.
To be
Oh,
exact.
that does sound
That
amazing.
sounds way good.
Yeah, I mean, to a T. So we get out. Now we're at the truck. We got the llamas in the trailer. Now we got to go to Bo's. We went to Bo's, dropped all the llamas off. We actually spent quite a bit of time there just BSing with him and talking all that stuff and getting everything unpacked. Then we finally go back to the original trailhead because we got to get his vehicle and Kayam's vehicle. Drop them off. Kayam splits. He goes back to Montana. And Brando's in front of me. I told him, I said, because now we're on the clock. If we want to get this meal that we've been dreaming of,
Yeah,
we got
gotta
to
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, Brando, I'm going to take my time getting out of here with the trailer or, with everything. Well, I had just my truck then.
You get there early and order ahead.
Yeah. And I know he's going to Baja this thing. So I said, get out, get on the phone and get it ordered. And I said, I'll meet you there. And that's what happened.
hilarious.
So
What were some key pieces of gear that you guys really liked? Like your clothing system, optics, what like really worked well out there for you?
optics were big because it was just so much
What were you using?
to cover. On my chest, I had my SLC 10x42s, Swaros, and then I had my ATX 85 spotter. He had similar.
Had the EL12s on we both had tripod rigs, and then an 80, the ATS 80. So not the
Classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Classy.
Yeah, the trying to think of what.
Is there any?
Oh.
Would you use 15s if you'd had them? Is that country big enough that you would
Yeah.
have you could have
You could.
justified?
It
What would have made a difference for you?
Yeah.
You think? Got you.
It was big enough. And that's like the first day's camp, you're talking 4 miles. So you're even eating up what the spotter can do at that point.
Yep.
And so,
You spending most of your time behind your 10s, and then just spot checking with your spotter. Your 12s, I guess, in your case.
yeah.
Yeah,
Got you.
say pretty even keel there, even split. The one piece that I've never tried before that I'm a fan was the puffy pants.
Oh, those are a go-to.
Absolute game changer.
Come on.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome
People
to the
make fun of
fam.
people who carry around all the time, but
I made fun of people that did so.
Welcome to the family. Those are like the greatest treat on
Even
planet
up
Earth.
there, he was, it's funny.
They've got this on film somewhere, and I know it because Kayam's giggling his ass off filming me while I'm giving my feedback on these puffy pants. It was one of the windy days before we moved camp down into the deal. And we're just up there. I mean, the wind's coming up to shoot. Just
I think there's a
blowing you to
clip
hell.
that we're both glassing and we both got puffy pants on, puffy jet, like we're Michelin man sitting on the ridge.
Yeah, I was telling him, I said, you know what? The one thing about these puffy pants, I said, I'll give them this. They're warmer than shit. I said, they make you look absolutely ridiculous up here, but I tell you what, I said, I'm a fan. So would I wear these in public? Absolutely not. But up here where nobody can see, yeah, they were fantastic. But
Function over fashion, but
well, it's
those
just,
things they are incredible.
yeah, like I said earlier, the wind's going to get you at some point. At some
Yeah.
point, it will eventually get you to where you're cold. And oh my God.
Yeah.
Just having, fantastic.
What about you, Brando? Anything that you think of?
So on this trip, it was right when or right after we brought Kings on into the gear shop. And so growing up in southern Utah, is where Kings originated. Like I've got pictures of me late teens wearing
I'm
the
same way.
the original old Desert Shadow. And
Yep.
we ran it. I ran it the first few years that I backpacked into Colorado. It was before an XKG line or anything. It was still just the King stuff. I'd ran it and I hadn't touched the stuff since like the Kuyu launch, Sitka Kuyu came out and we kind of migrated into that more mountain technical type stuff. And so on this hunt, I had that pretty much a full Kings lineup. I had their puffy coat, their puffy, I should know the names, but puffy coat, puffy pants. I had this in camouflage. I think it's the Covert zip. And I pretty
can't
much
keep up
lived
with
in
all the
this.
names. I can't keep up with the names.
So I'm a big, like in the Sitka, the core heavyweight, and this is equal to the Sitka core heavyweight. I lived in this pretty much up there, unless we were traveling, and then I had just a merino zip up is what I ran on it. But I had not run Kings, and so I tried their XKG just to see, you know what I mean? I've used pretty much everything else. I've used the Fall Raven stuff, and so I had all Kings upper, Kings rain gear, Kings insulation. And then I ran the Piranha Stretch Zion pant up there. And so that was the get. And I was impressed. I hadn't touched Kings and ran it, and then as extreme a hunt as I'd been on.
Yeah.
So, and it performed.
What were you wearing for boots? Curious. Was that where you were
oh
going?
yeah, see, we always got the same question, Trail.
Just like right here.
Wavelength, man.
Great minds.
That's because we're 2 inches apart.
People should know by now what boot I'm going to wear.
Yeah,
So,
guarantee it.
Yep.
The stiffest Scarpa you can possibly find.
I had the Charmois. It's my,
Charmois, did you go to?
Yeah, I run that.
Orange?
Yeah.
You got them on today. Give us a
boot
little.
right there.
There you go. Same boot?
Yeah, exact same boot.
No words for wear.
No, I've run. This is the 4th pair that I've
Gotcha.
got. So and they run. I get a couple years out of them,
You have to update.
and I'll probably buy the exact same boot. To be honest with you, I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and I always come back that it fits me.
Yeah.
So I love
You
it.
like a stiff boot.
I do. I am one of the very few. I think on the podcast you guys mentioned like there are very few people
There are
that
very
truly
few.
like
Very
a
few.
stiff
Brandon's
boot.
one of them.
I'm the anomaly there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I had the Kenetrek Mountain Extreme 400s. And before then, I was always You know, remember the old Sportsman's Guide magazine?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, the old shit, right?
Yeah.
There was a boot in there.
You're talking to a bunch of old guys. What are you, what are you saying?
Yeah.
So there was a boot in there that had almost like them Danner waffle soles on them, or them whatever the shit they're called. But I wore those for years, and then finally one year they stopped selling them, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta find a new boot
Because they were in the elk hunter with like the pegs on the bottom.
Yeah,
American made.
And it was
a
just
hell of a boot.
It was one of those boots where you could buy them, put them on, and never have a problem.
Yep.
Ever. So, anyways, finally I said, screw it, I got to find a new boot. So I bought the Kenetrek Mountain Extremes, and you hear so much about them. I put them on. I bought them just before that 23 hunt with my mom, and I spent 26 days in 231 with those boots. Not a single problem. Out of the box, not a single problem. Phenomenal. Love them. They're comfortable as hell. And, I mean,
Nice.
my opinion, of course, but for me, they were absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, is there one thing in this whole hunt you guys would have done differently at all?
for the first time actually being in there for the hunt, first time in a unit, first time on a hunt, it's a learning curve anyways, right? So I think
Actually,
with the
I
car,
want to piggyback on that a little bit because I always find it interesting. We've all been doing this for so long. You know what I mean? Like we kind of take it for granted how like second nature it is to plan and like decide what you're going to do in the backcountry, how to get there, what you're going to do back there. We all feel comfortable back there. So on the piggyback of that question, did you guys learn something different? New tactic, anything like that? Like it's always, you know, I'm trying to make this a pointed question, but it's a little out there because like, I don't know if there's ever, we've been doing it so much, like I said, I don't think there's ever just one thing that we explicitly in the back of our mind learns like, holy shit, now I know what to do from here on out. We've all kind of been there before.
right?
But as far as, you know, doing something different goes, like Brady said, or did you actually have one of those moments in your head where you're like, holy shit, I picked up on something?
I don't think I would have done. I guess the one thing we would have done is we would have put a vehicle at that other trailhead.
Yeah.
Just to open up options.
Preemptively?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And we talked about it prior to doing it, and we both.
Yeah, I guess
Stage-
you guys
like,
did have a lot of
truly
vehicles
staging
there, right?
vehicles.
Yeah.
You had the option to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could have done it.
Yeah.
It would have added some hours to the morning that when we left for the trailhead. But that would have taken the anomaly of having to find a ride.
Yeah.
But
and you
that's-
could have been more planned ahead of like being able to just go.
Right. Yeah.
And we, like I say, we talked about it. We ultimately decided not to. And I think we kind of in the back of our head knew that Bo had made the offer and was going to be up there.
Yeah, that was kind of, we had talked about that before and knew, and we kind of had that in our back pocket if we needed it.
Yeah.
But as far as the plan, and again, it kind of goes back to we've been there, done that. We hunted a specific deer until we determined that he was gone.
Yeah.
Like at that point, and I don't feel like we wasted.
No.
It wasn't that we got hung up on him. We wanted to make sure that he wasn't there before we moved on, and it took us some days to do it. But once we made that determination, it wasn't like we just stuck there and hunted a deer that wasn't there. We were always moving and trying to come up with either a different angle to confirm that, or we piled off and ended up on the complete other side of the hill. And so overall, I thought we hunted that as efficiently as I thought we could have. So
I'd agree.
Yeah. There's a couple, like, as I was listening to you guys talk and kind of like how you navigated the terrain. Also, you're talking about the weather. You're talking about other people being in there on horseback, and you're kind of anticipating where they're going and, what potentially could have happened to your buck based on where they were at. There's a lot of gamesmanship in hunting. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and that was something as I listened to you talk that kind of came through for me is I think a lot of that's just experience, and you gain that from being out there, and I don't think a lot of people think through those things potentially going into a hunt, but there's a lot of decisions that you have to make when you get out there, considering all factors, weather, pressure, where animals might be, may not be, when to move, when not to move. So that was interesting as I was listening to you talk. It's just there's so much gamesmanship in hunting.
Yeah.
And that's what I was
it's-
getting at about like it's second nature almost when you've been doing it enough. That's why I was wondering if anything stuck out in your head where now going forward, you're like, yep, picked up on a new one.
Yeah, that's good.
One thing that really brought to light was, well, maybe it's not too terribly new, but the day before that we killed, that's when we had really seen a big shift. We weren't sure if it was moon or we weren't sure if it was wind, because deer don't like wind either.
No.
So, as a matter of fact, I think in the film you see, I caught a group of deer that no shit walked to the edge of the timber and like felt the wind and said fuck that and turned around and went back in. So we weren't sure if it was the moon or the wind that was really dicking with them, because we were losing moon, and losing moon should mean more movement. And we just weren't getting it. We were getting less, like significantly less. So, and that's when we kind of determined, okay, they're moving during the day at some point. It's just a matter of when and where. And it was that next day, I mean, sure as shit, midday, that, I mean, granted, they were in a lot different side that would, you know, pose that more, right, than a thick side. But
you put yourself there mid-afternoon.
because of that.
Yeah.
That's why we left, you know, that's why we split, you know, 1:30 or so, just to give us all that afternoon push, you know, that sun time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that could have been something that kind of either reassured that. But
Yeah.
Hunt all day.
yeah, and it was, when you're in there like that, the one thing I've learned over the years is, one, start off with giving yourself options when you're in there. So when I look for a camp or a way in or something like that, I don't want one plan of attack or one area. I want to be able to have some sort of variation to that. And a lot of that with people and the moon and the weather and all that stuff, a lot of times you're reactive. And you're seeing what is going on around you and using those 1 or 2 or 3 plans with those.
Yep.
Saying,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
if this is what's happening over here,
Yeah,
we're going to
there.
option 2, right? So, yeah.
What was your favorite part about it? What was the, like, you have a memory from that hunt? Typically when I come home from a hunt, I have like a couple memories that I'm just like, man, I always go back to those. Do you have any of those? Like, what do you think of when you think of this hunt?
The 2 deer dying like within minutes, and the freaking river crossing.
Yeah.
Like the highs of highs and the lows of lows are the 2 memories that stick.
What blew my mind is our deer piled up on top of each other. That's what sticks with me.
Yeah.
Was, yeah,
that's
it was
cool.
1, 2, bang, bang, just,
Yeah.
and it was,
That's a true double. Yeah. That's a true double. Like the double on the doll sheep that my dad and I pulled, it wasn't like that. You know, it was, he shot his, they scattered, and mine kind of went to, you know, a couple 100 yards away to the other side before he stopped and looked back. So it was a double out of the same group, not like that.
yeah.
And that's
That's
why it's
crazy.
really shoot a big gun, so they both plop right next to each other.
Yeah.
You shoot a nice sharp broadhead, and they don't
Hey,
even
how,
know you
how
were just-
clean
Oh, it's
how
true.
clean was his sleep setup in the tent?
Oh, it was very nice. So what's funny about him was every time we put up the tent, he'd roll to every side
Yep.
and find the best setup.
Yep.
And then I was
Maybe
next.
like you're over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
He did that with the first one. I mean, there was
Absolutely. I've been there before.
there were 2 spots.
Yep.
And he rolled in and said, "That one's mine." I said, "Well, that one's mine." I mean, the poor camera dude got the shit in his
Hey, he's
stick.
being
So he's
Every
like the
time.
big
He's
buck
young, though,
digging out his
like-
good bed, and he gives
Yeah.
you the other one.
Yeah.
If you have the good one, he'll kick you out.
Yeah.
All his stuff was just detailed, like organized.
Oh
dialed.
yeah, it was
the
was
whole
impressive.
time,
Yeah. I mean, even
and not a strap out of place.
No.
on anything.
when he zipped up for the night, it was clean.
Yeah,
Like it was, you know,
it's
put
unbelievable.
his laundry away and everything. I mean, shit, it was amazing. Yeah.
Guy stays detailed
You guys
back
snore?
there. It's
you snore-
unbelievable.
You snore? You snore at night?
Not that I know of.
Brando, snore?
I don't know if I did. I snore when I have a cold.
Oh, me,
and
I
so-
snore.
Dude, I'm a dead sleeper. When I go, I'm gone.
I'm the
Yeah,
lightest. I'm the lightest sleeper. I'm earplugs no matter what.
Are you?
Backcountry, home in bed. I'm earplugs no matter what, and I'll still wake up on anything.
Yeah, remember in Colorado, that bear came in?
Yeah.
And then you were like, "You hear that bear last night when our camp?" I'm like, "No."
Brady's dead to the world. I mean, it's a little bear too. We had glassed it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it could
slipper.
have been more than
It was a slipper.
Well, it was a slipper black bear. I mean, it was freaking tiny.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like barely making noise in camp, and it woke me up, earplugs and everything. And I'm like, "Hey, Brady, that bear we glassed up. Did you hear him in camp last night?" He's like, "What? Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't think so."
Dead to the world.
I'm the same. I'm gone. Yeah.
Guy's just dead to the world when he sleeps.
How did you guys like that Bo Beatty snow trekker
The
shelter?
tent, the setup.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah,
He's got that thing dialed. He really does.
Insanely dialed.
Yeah.
He was explaining it to us when we got back that night, kind of what he's taken away from a lot of the other canvas tent setups and the effort and thought and design put into those.
Well, shit, he's used them all
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
all through the summer on his experiential
Yeah.
trips that he does through all the hike country. I mean, he's used everything. He knows literally the best and the worst of all the different makers. Like he's got it figured out.
Because I have the Mountain Den, which is their smaller one. It's like 9 foot by 9 foot, maybe.
We have the big dog.
You have the
We
one
took the
above
big
it?
dog in the
No,
13
the
by
Conqueror, the big one.
You have the
Yeah.
big dog.
the
Okay.
13 by 13, and it is spacious. But
Yeah.
Could you stand up all the way?
oh
in it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're.
That's nice.
But we had planned, so forecasted the week before that hunt, we were forecasted to be socked in. It was either the day before the opener or the opener was supposed to snow all day. So we were like, well, let's be comfortable in there. And we would have been like, you could have weathered some stuff in there.
Yeah. What was that stove you guys had?
It's a Riley stove out of Montana. Bo sells them along with his tents.
Okay, those are the
That's-
same ones. Okay, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was asking Bo earlier this year which
It was
one
a
he
new
recommended.
one.
I
It was
can't
a-
remember which one it was now.
Yeah, when I went through him to get it, he said, take this. So, okay. So he's the one that ordered it for us, but it was, shit, I can't remember the dimensions, but it was one of the newer ones that Riley just came out with a bigger flue. I think it was a 5-inch. But yeah, that sucker pumped some heat.
It looks like it was.
Good
You
night.
could have that's like a true wall tent stove. I was pretty impressed with the setup because
Yeah.
the one llama can haul. That's the neat thing about them is they're not so heavy like a true like wall tent. Is a llama can pack both the stove, stakes, tent, everything. Pole like everything is one llama, and so you're basically gives a llama for each
About
of us and
70
the
pounds.
cameraman. So
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was impressed with too, because I used that on my Colorado hunt this year, the wall tent design, and I could set it up easily by myself. Like it's actually a super simple shelter to put up. Like,
Yeah.
and
You-
it bucks wind. We had
Oh,
that
yeah.
one
Yeah.
night. We had they said that down in town they had like 65 mile an hour winds, and we were up on ridges, and it bucked it. And I don't know if you've spent like wind in like the Seek Outside teepees. It whips those like
you can't sleep.
The one thing
I don't even
will-
know if that's the word to use. Like it is.
In Wyoming, when we had them in Wyoming in the 8-man teepee, it ripped the stovepipe out of the stove.
It's nuts. Those things catch wind.
So
The one thing about his that I loved is the floor. I'm a floor guy. Yeah, but the way that he has the floor designed is he's got that big zip section for the stove, so you don't got to worry about shit getting on your, on the floor and burning through or anything like that. I mean, everything the thought and design in that, his tents are
Even the
legit.
simple thing about the door design
Yeah.
intrigued me a lot. Like just all the little details here and there that he's experienced over the years, and wanted something that's you can throw in a llama.
Yeah,
Like
So it's about what, 80 pounds? You figure 70 pounds?
70 pounds.
yeah,
Not bad.
Full setup, everything.
Yeah,
Stove,
and that's
everything.
for the big
70
dog.
pounds.
That's
Yeah.
for the big tent.
So one dedicated llama.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Well, cool.
We learned real quick that setup for the tent llama was not going on brown or white dock because he had brown dock saddle. We learned that a
First
mile
5
in.
minutes.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Good
one with
deal.
the messed up saddle had to get a very even setup. So yeah.
Gotcha. You get excited to go deer hunting when you
Yeah.
watched it?
I can't wait,
it
man.
makes me wish it was hunting season again. And
Yeah.
we're still in app season.
I know I watched it yesterday, and I'm just like to the point where I'm so sick of sitting behind my desk. It definitely made me want to get outside.
We made it to March this year. We're doing better.
Yeah, doing better. We appreciate you guys coming on and just kind
Yeah.
of talking about it. So
That was fun to talk about.
yeah, Hunt Film will be live April 2nd.
April 2nd.
9
and
a.m.
I believe, Neville said 9 a.m.
Yep, Diversion. So check that out.
Diversion.
Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks, guys.